from Columbia in high definition. This is WIS News 10 Awareness.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for Awareness. I'm your host, Megan Norman. Today we are on location at Carolina Coliseum where the Gamecocks women's basketball team practiced for their winning regular season. At the time of this taping, the team is on their way to the NCAA tournament. We'll talk with head coach Dawn Staley in just a bit. But first, Heathwood Hall senior Asia Wilson. She's driven on and off the court. Now the nation's top college recruit. But she says she does not let that get to her head. We sat down with Asia for more on how she stays grounded. I want people to know the Asia behind the basketball because you are a teenager. You have a semi-normal life, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you enjoy doing?
I really like to enjoy spending time with family and friends. I like going to the movies, bowling, texting my friends, just talking with them, really hanging out. And the most important one is just spending time with my grandmother. She's 92 years old and she knows everything kind of, well, she thinks she does. So just really going over, spending time with her, talking, sometimes she throws in recruiting questions and especially about basketball, but I know she's just doing that to be funny. So really just kind of spending time with her and just really enjoying all that family time together. And also with my parents, they help me keep my life balanced a lot.
Don't get it twisted now. Asia is a regular teenager. Lazy, procrastinates, have to ask her 100 times or tell her 100 times to do one thing. That's being a teenager. And I'm glad that she's that way. I don't want her to be any different. But she does understand that you have to have grades, good grades, to get into the colleges that she's interested in.
Without them, I would be nowhere without their support. And they support me no matter what, whether it's a win, a loss, anything, they're always there and just really helping me throughout the school year academically. They've helped me out a ton. And it gets tough sometimes, but they're always there behind my back, and I love them so much.
I can't say we're the perfect parents, but we try to hit the right spots, hit the areas that we think that's important for her, even if she doesn't think so now. You look back and say, yeah, I think I'm glad I did that.
Asia is a 6'4" center who skillfully dribbles and passes like a point guard. She's the National Player of the Year, averaging 35 points per game, and about to head to Chicago to play in the prestigious McDonald's All-American game. She's narrowed down her college choices to 4 powerhouse programs, including South Carolina. I feel like there's just so much going on and so much pressure that it's hard to compartmentalize your life. And
Not really. I know a lot of people ask me, am I pressured to do something or is it just pressure? It's not. I don't feel it, at least. I really don't let it get to me because I know it's life is short and you want to do everything that you can to enjoy it, whether it's on the court, off the court. So really I understand that life can be taken away like that in the blink of an eye. So really I just kind of live it up to the fullest every day.
Do you feel like you've made the most of your high school career?
Yeah, I think so. Winning that state championship really kind of put the icing on the cake. That was my biggest goal this year, and just really to check something off of your list of goals is really a huge accomplishment. So I think I went out my high school career with a bang.
How did that feel?
I'm actually still reliving it each and every day. I kind of wake up and I just think about, wow, I'm a state championship. This is something I've been going after for years. So to actually get it and just kind of have it, it's just like a feeling, it just feels so good. And I talk to my coach Kane all the time, and we just go over it, just saying wow, we did it. We finally did it. We've been together for 5 years now and always been so close there, but just to finally get it. And the way the game went with the overtime just made it that much more exciting to think about and look back on.
Well, let me ask you, where did this passion start from?
Ooh. Honestly, I didn't want to play basketball at all. I didn't want to have anything to do with it because I would look at the girls that played basketball and they were kind of arrogant and here and there to just act like they were all that. And I just didn't want to be that type of person. I didn't want to. So I kind of stayed back from athletics altogether. And really my dad just kind of said, go give it a shot. Just go to the gym, shoot around. You don't have to make the team. You don't have to be on the team. Just kind of go just to, just be active because he didn't want me sitting around the house.
Basketball, sports didn't come in until probably, I guess she was probably 8 years old. Before we just, we were going to piano lessons and we were doing ballet and dance and some tennis. I think we tried everything. We tried everything, and
exposed her to a lot
just
of
exposing us.
One time I got in the game and I just started making shots and I just started falling in love with the game. I would watch it all the time. And I guess I just wanted to be like those people that are playing on TV, so I just kept on working. Out here on that goal, I would play one-on-one with my dad. He'll kind of beat me up a little bit, made me mad.
We worked hard. I mean, we would work so hard, I'm surprised she didn't tell you. We'd be in each other's face.
I always wanted to beat him in a game of one-on-one, so I just kept on building up and I just fell in love with the game.
Have you beat him yet?
Yeah. I beat him once, so, and now he doesn't want to play because his back hurts. So, yeah.
Do you still enjoy it every day? I mean, it's not a job to you, is it, or a duty that you have to do?
No, I really just play it just to have fun with it. I love my teammates. I love the way getting them active inside the play and stuff. So I just really fall in love with it every day. I play every game like it's my first or even it's my last. So I just play hard all the time.
She put the work in. She really did. She put the work. I pushed her. She pushed back. I pushed her. She pushed back. But in the end, it started to work out.
I would like to win a national championship. That's the main goal that I want to do now that I've won the state championship, and also get gold medals, go to the Olympics, participate in that, do well in the Olympics, do well in college, and really just kind of give back. I really want to give back to whether it's the state or just anybody, just really give back because so many people have gone out so many ways to give so much to me. So really just giving back to people and winning the national championship and a gold medal are my top three.
God has blessed us. God has blessed us immensely. And we don't take that kind of stuff for granted at all. We don't. And so she knows that.
But it's just a blessing and an honor just to have young kids, boys and girls, come up to you and tell you that you're their role model and you're not even an adult yet. It's just a huge deal, and it just kind of makes my heart jump a little bit when I see people because that doesn't happen to anybody every day. Like, I'm blessed and honored to be in this position because I'm not an adult. I'm still trying to figure out who I want to be when I grow up. And you have young kids coming up saying that you're who they want to be, and it's just amazing. I just can't stop smiling when something like that happens to me.
All the things she's accomplished, she takes it in. She gets excited. She was excited about these awards and recognition, but she takes it in, it flows, and she just moves to the next. What's the next challenge? And I like that about her. Well, I love her for that. I like her as I love Asia for that, her ability to handle that. So. We're extremely proud, and it's a surreal feeling. And like I say in Facebook, love me some A.
Never let someone tell you that you can't do it. Never, ever. Don't listen to the haters, as they would say. Just live life to the fullest.
When awareness returns, a former college basketball standout, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and professional basketball player. Now, Coach Dawn Staley is leading the next crop of players. After the break, more on Coach Staley's path that has taken her all over the world. The team is fresh off an SEC championship season and headed to the NCAA tournament. So what keeps Coach Staley in the game? We take a look at her humble beginnings and what fuels her passion.
Coach Staley, take us back to when you first were thinking about basketball when you were growing up.
Well, I grew up in Philadelphia, and I grew up in the housing projects right in North Philly. And, in my neighborhood, we played all different types of sports. We played basketball, we played baseball, we played softball, we played football. And I think that's where my competitiveness came from. And luckily for me, as I am a very competitive person, I was able to channel that competitiveness through sports. And then, once I got a little bit older, and older, I mean probably middle school, is when I first received some college interest for my basketball skills. And that's when I knew basketball would be the vehicle that would, take me to places that, back then I didn't know where it would take me, but I know it could put me in a position to possibly get a basketball scholarship to a college or a university.
Were you ever told that you couldn't do it, that people didn't believe in you?
I wasn't tall enough, I was too short, and I was told that because of where you grow up, sometimes you don't get the exposure that could take you to outside of what you see every day. And, to grow up in North Philly, it's a different experience than you could imagine. There's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of shootings and killings and just a lot of violence growing up in North Philly. But I grew up in a neighborhood in which, although it was all of those things, it was also a togetherness. We took care of one another. We made sure that we looked after one another. The only role model that I had was probably my mother, and I just grew up in the same household, and I saw her struggle. I saw her still provide for our family, and she is someone that was a disciplinarian. Didn't really understand it at the time, but surely understand it being in the position that I am, being responsible for 12 to 15, 18 to 22-year-olds. And when you're responsible for making sure their lives are set on a pace in which they can be successful, those years of being disciplined by my mother, they do come into factor in and helping me help those young ladies that I look after every single day.
Well, and it sounds like you really had the discipline and motivation you needed to continue your career. So let's move to college now. And did you have strong coaches in your life? How did you continue through your college career?
Well, in college was a little bit different in that I went to a predominantly white university, and culturally it was a lot different than what I was used to. Growing up, I didn't really see, very many people of different cultures. So when I went to Virginia, I was totally the minority. But I think college helped me, expose me to different cultures, and it helped me see the world a little bit differently, and also give my perspective on the world that was different than mine, and give the world a perspective they probably hadn't seen from someone that grew up in the projects and someone who grew up in an inner city like I did. But definitely I was surrounded by very strong women, and those strong women were my teammates. Those strong women were my coaches, my college coach, Debbie Ryan, and then I was just introduced to a lot of different people, from professors, I had an opportunity to play USA basketball while I was in college, so I saw a lot of very powerful, very successful women who I used to help me equip myself to be able to navigate through the real world.
Did you have Olympic dreams when you were in college and even before that?
I actually had Olympic dreams when I was living in the projects, because there were two games that I really saw on TV. One was the national championship game, women's basketball, and the other were the Olympic games. So I saw women play at the kind of the peaks of their careers, and I wanted to be a part of that, because I've always wanted to be successful in any and everything that I did, and I do, to this day. I want to be a part of the best. If they say, coaching in the Final Four and winning the national championship, that's what I want to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of an Olympic basketball team and win a gold medal, because that's what I saw. That was deep rooted in my memory growing up in the projects.
What would you do if you weren't playing basketball or coaching basketball?
Well, that's really a tough question, because I don't know what I would be doing. I really don't. I think sports has been such an integral part of my life that I don't want to not be around it. I think it is something that I was born into. I just had truly an innate ability to play basketball, and when the game has chosen you, I don't think you can rear off that path. When something has, a hold on you, you really have to see it through, and especially when it's something that's truly positive and you can benefit and your life, as well as you can change the lives of generations. My generations that will come after me, and also the people that you meet, the young people that you meet, you can expose them to changing, what may seem like a hopeless outlook on life, to something hopeful. Well, I have an opportunity to help shape somebody's life and, be a dream merchant for our players.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Probably the biggest legacy that I would like to leave behind is just being an odds beater. I am someone that has beaten the odds like you wouldn't believe, because, an Olympian, You know, if you look at an Olympian and you didn't know the background of an Olympian, surely you wouldn't think, you know, someone that grew up in North Philly in the Raymond Rosen housing projects would be, you know, an Olympian. But somehow, some way, people have exposed me to basketball in a way that I played it at the very highest level, and you just don't get there. Yes, I had ability, you know, but people were placed in my life strategically, I didn't know, to help me accomplish that goal.
You've had a very successful regular season here with the Gamecocks. Talk to me a little bit about that success and how it feels moving forward.
It's tremendous success. You know, I think for our basketball team, we came into the season with a lot of unknowns. You know, how would we, you know, mesh this young group? Who would lead this young group? And, you know, it started from, you know, our players sacrificing and committing to each other to stay both summer sessions. And that wasn't something that was, you know, forced on them at all. They just said, okay, you know, like 5 of them were staying, then the other, you know, 5 said, I'm staying as well. And then they, you know, they got together and they formed an incredible team chemistry that transitioned from the summer to the preseason on into the season. And I know a lot of people didn't project us to be in this position right now, but, you know, when the odds say, you know, something is not supposed to happen, when you have an odds beaters, and we have odd beaters on our basketball team that said, you know, they want to make the most out of this opportunity, and, you know, they surprised a lot of people. They probably surprised themselves too, because, you know, I think they probably take for granted what team chemistry can do. You know, especially when you're coming together, you have one common goal, and everybody commits to that goal selflessly. You can see it come to fruition, and you can see it come in the form of, you know, incredible success.
Well, congratulations to you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Our next guests are getting an early start into how to become leaders. In an organization that's more than 100 years old, the Girl Scouts of America has a proven track record of growing girls into women. Here to talk about the Girl Scouts, we have Susan Schneider with South Carolina Mountains to Midlands, and Jacqueline Carter, an ambassador who's also a senior in high school. Thank you both so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Megan.
Susan, let's talk a little bit about the overall mission of the Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scout mission for 102 years has been to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And the mission hasn't changed. We've grown from 18 girls 102 years ago to over 3 million in 92 countries now. And girls still focus on and enjoy crafts and camps and cooking, but they are so concerned now with the arts and business enterprise and healthy living. And because we're girl-led, we stay very contemporary and very relevant with what the girls' needs are.
That's incredible to see that growth over that time period. What are some of the programs in place that help build character in these girls?
Again, based on what their needs are, we have bullying programs in our healthy living. It's not just about physical health, it's also about emotional. So we have a program called Be a Friend First, which is an anti-bullying, because girls are telling us that they need help with that, also with cyberbullying. Also, we have STEM is huge right now with science, technology, engineering, and math. Girls are saying they're interested and they want to get some career opportunities down the road, so we're introducing them to programs through our partners so that down the road they can become STEM career people.
Now, Jacqueline, how long have you been a Girl Scout?
Since I was 4.
Since you were 4 years old. And how old are you now?
I'm 18.
Why did you start in Girl Scouting? What was it about? What was the draw for you?
Maybe because of my mom, because she told me there's a lot of scholarship money and everything. And it's a great experience as you're a young child, and when you grow older, you learn a lot. So basically, I just want a new experience in my life.
Now, a lot of girls start out as Girl Scouts, but not all of them finish. I know that I was a Girl Scout. I actually got my Gold Award, so I stayed in it to the very end until I was a senior in high school. How is it now being a senior in high school? I know it's not always popular.
It's not. A lot of people ask you, like, really, you're a senior? How old are you? And it's just like, I feel as though it's very important for me to say that I'm a Girl Scout because it's different from everybody else. And nowadays, people want to be the same as everybody else. So me being Girl Scout is different.
Right. And what are some of the service programs that you've participated in?
Feeding the homeless, tutoring little children, being an advocate for domestic violence. I learned a lot from that, just to stand up for something I believe in and telling people that it is very important that we stop domestic violence.
And why is that issue so important to you?
My mother is actually a victim, so it actually hit home for me. So I want to go out there and voice my opinion and voice that it must be stopped and we need to do something about it.
Now I know when I was going through Girl Scouting, I was the only black girl in my troop. Is that the case for you?
No, it's a lot of us of color, and it's comfortable and it feels great to have like more of us around and trying to be out in our community.
Right, and you also mentioned it's good to help get into college, correct? And it looks good to colleges when you're applying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, now I know that there is a campaign going on right now, Susan, to perhaps ban the word bossy.
That's right.
We have a public service announcement we want to show you about this whole campaign.
This is Ban Bossy. Take one.
Pushy. Stubborn. Stubborn. Pushy.
Pushy.
Stubborn. Stubborn. Bossy. 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 Bossy.
When I was growing up, I was called bossy.
I think the word bossy is just a squasher.
Being labeled something matters. By middle school,
girls are less interested in leadership than boys.
And that's because they worry about being called bossy.
We need to tell them it's okay to be ambitious.
We need to help them lean in.
Words matter.
Let's just ban the word bossy.
And encourage girls to lead.
To be strong and be ambitious.
Listen to your own voice.
There are no limits. Dare to be you.
You can change the world.
Let's ban bossy.
Be brave. Be you.
Ban bossy.
Join us to ban bossy.
I'm not bossy. I'm the boss.
Encourage girls to lead. Take the pledge at banbossy.com.
What's wrong with the word bossy?
Gender cultural differences begin early, the expectations, and we don't even realize as a society how it's demeaning to girls when they're called bossy and boys are called leaders, and that's what happens early on. So it's not that the word itself is so bad, it's the meaning that is connected to it to girls, because it tells them they're not going to be liked, they are doing the wrong thing, and it keeps them from being leaders.
Jacqueline, have you ever used the word bossy before?
Not really.
Have you been called bossy?
No.
Well, what do you think when you see that public service announcement about Beyonce saying, I'm the boss, I'm not bossy? Do you agree with that? Do you think that's how women and young girls should be portrayed?
Yeah, not bossy, but like they taking lead in what they're doing, and they should be considered as the boss.
And do you think Girl Scouts helps women become the boss?
Yeah, I actually do.
We really help girls find their voice, don't they? We help that, and that's part of the building courage, girls of courage, confidence, and character. So and persuasive communication is one of the programs we have in our media book, which is one part of our journey, and it's about recognizing stereotypes, media stereotypes. Girls are not as often the hero of a story, don't have as many speaking parts. So that is all part of the awareness of how to encourage girls to become leaders when they grow up.
All right. Susan and Jacqueline, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with a final thought. Whether you want to be a basketball player, an entrepreneur, or both, the world is wide open. Sports and groups like the Girl Scouts help build self-esteem and combat stereotypes. As a woman, you can do anything. Forging ahead in any field is about determination and integrity. Set goals and then surpass them. Being a leader today helps set the path for others tomorrow. As Girl Scout founder Juliet Gordon-Lowe once said, the work of today is the history of tomorrow, as we are its makers. We'd like to thank all of our guests today, Coach Dawn Staley, Asia Wilson, Susan Schneider, and Jacqueline Carter. Until next time, I'm Megan Norman. This is Awareness.